Shalom, shalom, everyone. Welcome to New Religion Network. We on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, all platforms. Like, share, subscribe. It's Prince of War, fresh out of Arizona. Right? Yeah, man. But I want to have a conversation with my people. But before I say that, we give all praises, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, right? All honor and glory in His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah. Barak Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shah. That being said, I want to have a conversation with my peoples, with my peoples. And this conversation may not be for you, and that's okay, because all things is not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So some things is just not for you. But the fact is this, right? I want to talk to my peoples that's around my age group, maybe a little older, a little younger, still in the streets, right? And I want to talk to the children that are still in the streets, the young teens and young adults that's in the streets. I'm 40 years old, so, I've seen a couple moons. And the fact is, if you're 40 years old, chances are you got more days behind you than you do in front of you. And this is something that we just got to be realistic about. This is something that we have to accept. So now, with that being said, you are a true to form grown man at 40 years old, and you have no time to play. And we have to address everything that's in front of us. When there's smoke, there's fire. We can't ignore the fact that there's fire. Just can't ignore it. It's there. And that fire is white supremacy. And it's just as simple as that. All misery and pain in this world go back to white supremacy, man. And it's just as simple as that. But that's not the topic. The topic is our people, or my people specifically. Like I said, my people that was in the streets like myself. I was in the streets at one point in time. And at some point in time, I had to wake up and move on from that. But that being said, I have a different perspective on those of us who still in the streets, how, better options and things that we can do, because we're not taught this information that we can grow and do more than just be in the streets hustling, selling drugs or whatnot, right? So the same way we are in the streets, the same methodology, the same the same energy that you put forth to be in the streets, take that energy, apply it to something different. So, for instance, right, our people, or not our people, but the people that I'm talking about, right, my people that I'm speaking on, those, they know who they are, right? We have a certain skill set that nobody else can attest to. Nobody else in the world can attest to. We gambled our freedom. We gambled our blood for street business. We gambled our freedom and blood for that, right? So doing it legal should be monopoly to you. It should be easy, because it's easy for me. That's for sure. Legal business is easy. That's monopoly. That I don't got to worry about police kicking in my door, and neither do you if you turn your business into legal business. And the Most High God does not want us to build off of sand. He wants us to build on bedrock, on solid ground. You understand? So whether you hustle or not in a negative light, it's not going to come to fruition. Eventually, it's going to crumble because it's built on sand. And no man build a house on sand. You understand? Now, back to options, right? Because everybody say, I remember where I'm from, 107, 164, New York. I remember the Rev, man, God bless the dead, man. The Rev, man, Reverend James McGee came to me, probably was like 14, 15 years old. Came to me and was like, yo, he's older, man, great person, man. He said, yo, why you selling drugs on this corner, man? Go do something else. No. He said, yeah, go do something else. And I'm like, yo, Rev, what am I gonna do, man? Like, real talk. At the time, at being 14, 15 years old, seeing all the things that I've seen somebody get shot in their face when I was 10 years old. 5 years later, I'm on the corner selling drugs. You think that in my mind, this is all I know, all I'm used to, and that's it. My family was in, the males in my family was involved in that. All my friends was involved in that. Some of their male family members was involved in that. Everybody I knew in the neighborhood was involved in that. So that's what I learned. That's what I saw. I remember one of my friends, when I was like getting food stamps, I had food stamps buying two. I remember this day. I never forget it. Me and my brother was buying turkey heroes and those cartons of juice. Word, them little 50-cent cartons of juice. He had grape, I had iced tea. And my man came in the store. We were kids. We were 13, 14 years old. come in the store and put out a pocket full of cash. We had food stamps where we would hide the food stamp and then wait till everybody leave. And then as soon as you pull out the food stamps, mad people come in. It used to happen every time without fail. You know what I'm saying? And we was embarrassed as children. But this what is an influenced me personally to get into the street life. So when the Rev say, yo, do something else, and it's like, yo, Rev, what I'm gonna do? You're telling me to stop doing what I'm doing and make money at 14, 15 years old, up until however I was old, you know, to when I stopped. Up until the point you're telling me to do something else, but you're not giving me no solutions. You're not saying, yo, here, do this, do that. So let me give you something to do. All right, let me give you something else to do. And I'm gonna break it down for you guys to understand with simple, easy peasy 1, 2, 3. The same way we hustle, you know, the work, those who know what I'm talking about, the work has to come from somewhere. That's the source. From the source, it goes to the distributor. From the distributor, it goes to the wholesaler, the dude who got weight. From there, it goes to the hand-in-hand dude. 4 steps. Now, for instance, all I'm telling people is, out my people is, take that same energy, them same thoughts, that same concept, apply it to something positive, like the car industry. With the car industry, you have the manufacturers like Nissan, BMW, Mercedes, and all these other cars, right? These are the manufacturers. They give it to who? They give it to the auction, right? From the manufacturers to the auction. The auction, more time than not, it's wholesalers coming to there. From the wholesalers are allowed to sell to the retail man. So now you got the manufacturer going to the auction house, going to the wholesaler, going to the retail dealership that's on everybody's corner up and down the block. So the same concept. And here's the thing, it's a cash business. So what is that? It's just numbers. Who's better than numbers than street dudes? A street dude can take 28 grams, turn it into lines, turn those lines into dollars, turn the dollars back into ounces or pounds, and then turn it back into dollars. You know, we don't understand the math that's involved in doing that. So doing math with cars, that's monopoly, that's easy. But if we don't have this understanding about these type of endeavors, how can we grow from the streets, hustling, selling whatever you selling in the streets? How can we grow from that if we don't know about other types of businesses that's actually in the same realm, just a totally different? It's just legal. You don't got to worry about police getting in your door, and you're gonna make way more money. Because if you buy a car at an auction for $2,000 and you sell it for $1,500 profit, that's $3,500. Everybody got $3,500 for a 2013-14 Chevy Impala or Chevy Malibu, for instance. Everybody got that. So the point is, you make $1,500 per car. You do that 4 times a month, that's $6,000. In 10 months, that's $60,000. 12 months, $72,000. You just hit $72,000, and all you're doing is selling, making $1,500 on a car. You can go buy a car for $1,000 and sell it to somebody for $2,500, make your $1,500, do that 4 times a month, and you up and you good and you taking care of your family. But because we don't know about this information, we just continue in these streets selling weed, selling whatever people sell nowadays. You understand? And we are hurting our people, and we are white supremacists when we do that. Let's be clear. And that means 90% of the people I know are white supremacists. And all of them is my people, family, friends, and some more stuff. But this is the truth of the matter. When you hurt your people, you are a white supremacist. That's it. If you own a liquor store, you're a white supremacist. It's just as simple as that. Your scale got to be balanced. Your scale got to be balanced. God said in the scriptures, God say a forced balance is an abomination, meaning if you ain't even with your judgment in all things, equality, equity, then you are an abomination. Okay? So what we got to understand about our people, we need a code, we need rules and regulations on how to deal with each other the way it was back before the father was kicked out of the house in the 80s. I remember this, man. I remember we had a code where if you broke somebody's window, that if you did anything in the hood where I came from, any parent can whoop you. They're going to whoop you right on the spot, take you home, then your mom's gonna whoop you, and God forbid if you got some uncles like I did and a step pops like I did, because you just go down the line and you get whoopings all day. So that was the code that we had, and we protected our children, and it was the best of times. And this is 80, the crack epidemic. It was the best of times in the crack epidemic, and it was the worst of times, as the saying go. But we made it work because we had a code. Dudes never sold drugs to kids. That was a lie. That was a lie propagated by the white supremacist media to destroy the black family. Lying on us, saying that black men were selling drugs. I was a kid in the 80s. Ain't nobody ever offered no drugs to no kids in the 80s, man. That is a lie. And anybody I challenge anybody to show me different. Because I'll bring 100 people up here to say that they were children, and nobody ever sold them drugs or even attempted to sell them drugs. And in fact, every drug dealer said, don't sell drugs, go to school. So this is the propaganda that has been pushed on us about what we've been involved in, those of us who's in the streets, our people that's in the streets, because it wasn't everybody. That's a myth to think that it's every black person is out here in the streets. That is a myth. It is a small percentage of the black community, the so-called black community, that actually is involved in the streets, man. In one way or another. Everybody's not a criminal, man. That is propaganda, man. And just like I would even argue that not every white person is a white supremacist. I would argue that. The same way I would argue not every black person that lives in the ghetto is in the streets, because my mother never was in the streets. My stepfather was never in the streets. Brother Barnes Simmons' family, never in the streets. I know Mr. Simmons and Mrs. Simmons my whole life. Them people has never been in the streets as far as I know, and they have only pushed positivity and showed us what a black family should be. My mother, my stepfather showed me that, and I learned it also from Mr. and Mrs. Simmons, period. What a black family should be, how a black man should conduct themselves. I watched my stepfather bust his butt every day to make a better way for us. And even when I was ready to go to college, my mother and stepfather could not pay for me to go to college. So how can we how can we grow our family with a 9-to-5? It doesn't work. If two parents that work in New York City, my mother was a fraud investigator. So she was getting some kind of chicken. She was a fraud investigator for welfare. She was making some kind of money. My steppops had a great job as well. They couldn't pay for me to go to college. You understand what I'm saying? That's called oppression. That's called white supremacy. People don't want to face that. People don't want to deal with it. That's your business, but it doesn't change anything. It's still there. So the point is, how can we grow our family working a 9-to-5? You understand? This is a question that we got to ask ourselves. We can't grow. You can sustain your family with a 9-to-5. You can just make it with a 9-to-5. You can live with a 9-to-5, but you're not gonna grow your family with a 9-to-5. You ain't gonna get your family out of poverty, out of the misery, the oppression with a 9-to-5. It's not gonna happen. Forget about it. You got to do something on the side. And if you're gonna do something on the side, then you might as well invest your 20 years into that side and make it your main. Because when you die, you can pass that to your son, or your daughter, or your wife, or your brother and his nephew, and your nieces and nephews. But you can pass it to your family. The same way when whoever runs Walmart or whatever, they pass that to their family. Ain't none of them Walmart dudes working for 25 years get no ownership in that. And their children ain't going to eat off of that. But their children is going to be customers. And my child is not going to be a customer. And nor should you. Unless we are the economic power base. And we have to build that now. So those of us that was in the streets, this is our opportunity, because nobody can do business the way we did business, man. Y'all know it. You put your freedom on the line to do business in these streets. Who can tell you anything about business when you put your blood and your life on the line? Who can tell you? You think Donald Trump can tell you? Jeff Bezos can tell you about business when them dudes ain't never put their life on the line? Them dudes ain't never had no meetings with dudes with guns on them. And you know if the wrong thing is said, somebody's going to end up dead. They don't do business like that. We have done, those of us who have done business that way, it should be easy to do legal business. That's monopoly. That's easy. So nobody shouldn't be afraid to go do something legal, and trust and believe your family and your friends are not going to support you. Stop hustling to do something legal. They're not going to support you. They're going to rather you get a job. Like there's a thing, pallets, P-A-L-L-E-T-S, pallets. The same pallets, the wooden pallets that everybody see when you go past a dumpster, them wooden pallets on the floor. Them wooden pallets of 48 by 40 are worth $12 wholesale, 25 to 17 to $26 retail per pallet, and people just throw those on the floor. That is a multi-billion-dollar industry because everything that goes on a truck goes on a pallet first. Everything that goes on a truck goes on a pallet first. All right? That's a multi-billion-dollar industry that people just throw on the floor. So understand something. That's money just sitting on the ground that our people don't even concern themselves or think about and don't even see them. It's invisible to them. But that's money that's just laying on the floor. Imagine if you invested $40,000 and go get you a truck and go pick up all that money off the floor that you don't got to reinvest in and make money off of this. But our people don't know about this. And some of our people are too high and mighty. And furthermore, the people that are supposed to support you, like your wife or your mother or your father, your brothers, your cousins, your homies, they're not going to support you picking up pallets off the floor. It's an open contract right now in Chicago. They want 30,000 pallets. 30,000 pallets, 40 by 48, and it's an open contract. Anybody can bring it. You got 10, they're going to pay you for 10. You got 1,000, they'll pay you for 1,000. They want 30,000 pallets at $9. That's $270,000. It's over $250,000. This is business with pallets, but our people have no idea about this. And I guarantee if you stop selling drugs in a corner, your girl might leave you if you tell her you going to pick up pallets off the floor. You're going to invest your 40 bands into a truck and go pick up pallets. They're not going to support that. But you got to know that works. You got to know the value of anything that you're involved in. And if you a hustler the way I'm a hustler, if you a man that came from the streets where I came from, and it's a million of us all over this country and over this world, if you gave it up the way I did, you should have no problem of looking at anything and saying, I can make money off of that. I see money off of that. Because I see money when I see pallets on the floor. You don't. You see, it's invisible to you. It's invisible. Most people, you ask somebody right now, ask 10 people, it's invisible. How much are those pallets worth? They have no idea. None. And they see it everywhere. And it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. So my people, don't think that you can't do something else. And when I was a kid, I used to think, man, damn, everybody that's hustling, selling drugs, man, these dudes would be great real estate agents. I was a kid thinking that. Now I'm a landlord and I own 2 cribs and a trucking business. Morality Realty, look us up. Phenom Global, look us up. My wife got her own Blush Beauty Co. My brother Packy doing his thing. He got the new religion network. I got plenty of friends who was in the streets the way I was in the streets that's doing business, legal business, because it's easy to them. So it's a layup. For real, a layup. You want a layup line? Finger roll layup line. Easy. No defender. That's what legal business is. If you understand business, and dudes that's in the streets and dudes that was in the streets, you are a student of all business. You're a student of all business. Understand this. Research and development. You know what? When you go see a different plug, when you go find this bud, that bud, that's called research and development. That's what that's called. When you hand out samples, that's called advertising, man. Come on, man. This is easy, man. Y'all know this stuff, but you just don't know you know it because you never had nobody to sit down and you never shut your mouth long enough to just listen to somebody teach you the shit you already know and how to apply it to something else. Our people are too high to listen to somebody who may not look like they have money or may not be doing nothing financially because they don't have the money to get the things that they're going, but yet they have the information. Our people, I'm only talking about street people. I'm not talking about nobody else. This conversation is not for you. if you never been in the streets. This is for street dudes who was and is in the streets. And then my brothers that was locked up, who understands this life, come home and understand that you can do more, man. Way more. And be an aid and be a agent against white supremacy instead of being an agent for white supremacy. Selling drugs to your own people, destroying your own people. You don't go to these other people neighborhoods and sell drugs in their neighborhoods. You're going to sell the drugs on, like myself, on a corner that I grew up in, where my mother lived at, where my little cousins come from, and sell drugs in that neighborhood. That's what I'm going to do. That's called a fool. And that is called a white supremacist by no other name, bro. Simple as that. Real talk. So we got to wake up and take a stand, draw a line in the sand. What part of the, where you going to stand at on that line? You on this side or that side? Are you with the wicked or you with the righteous, man? The Most High God asks, who's going to stand up and who's going to fight for me, man? Who going to speak up for the Most High, man? You're going to keep destroying the Most High people and think God got you? You think y'all been lied to so long, y'all think that you can just hurt your people and think God is going to be cool with that because Jesus died for your sin? And I would argue he did die for the first sins. And once you come into the knowledge, you are forgiven for those sins. But that don't mean you go out and do the same crime that he died for. That's like you doing a crime, you committing murder, me coming into the courtroom saying, Your Honor, I got this. My brother killed somebody, but look, he can't do the time. I'm going to do the time. Don't even worry about it. I'm going to do it. I go sacrifice myself. 2 weeks later, you come back in jail for another murder. What you think I'm going to do to you when we sit in the same jailhouse? And I gave up my life for you. And you just go out and go do the same thing. That's what Christianity, white supremacy, is teaching our people. And our people is just running with this nonsense and have no understanding. No understanding. But I tell you, if I was Yahweh Shah, if I was who you ignorantly called Jesus Christ, because the letter J wasn't even invented until the 1500s, so his name couldn't possibly be Jesus. So, but nevertheless, if I was him and I died for your sins, and then tomorrow you come right back with the same sin, I'm gonna bust your head to the white meat of sitting in the same cell. I'm gonna bust your head to the white meat. You become food straight up. And that's what it is, man. So draw this line in the sand and let it be what it be, man. Be honest with yourself. What type of man you want to be? I've always reflected on my life, and I can only use me as the scale. I can't use nobody else. I only can use me. And I always reflect on my life and who I was. And I remember being in California at 18 years old, hating myself, hating the person I was, and wanting to do better. And I had to do better, and I made sure I wanted to do better. And in fact, I can sit here and admit that I wanted to commit suicide at that point. I remember in Oakland, California, walking down the street. I was going to this girl house. I remember it like it was yesterday, walking down the street thinking, damn, man, I feel like killing myself. I hate myself because I hated the person I was. I hated the situation I was. I was only 18. What did I know? I didn't know nothing about oppression. But the only thing that gave me strength was remembering my mother, man. I can't do that to that lady. You understand? And everybody goes through those feelings, and people are afraid to deal with mental health. Our people don't even want to speak on mental health. You don't even want to talk about mental. I seen somebody get shot in their face when I was 10 years old. What man in a right mind, man, woman, in a right mind would ever say that a child who seen somebody get shot at 10 in a face at 10 years old is going to be okay? They just going to be regular. You're never going to be regular if you see somebody get shot in the face at 10 years old. Your life is never going to be regular after that, period. But because we don't deal with trauma in our neighborhoods, and then the white supremacist who's running around claiming to be a psychologist, claiming to be a nurse, claiming to be a doctor, but he's really a white supremacist in a robe, how is he supposed to help you? How is he supposed to help you? He's not going to help you. He's going to hurt us, man. And that's why they've been diagnosing us with nonsense like attention deficit disorder. My son is 3 years old. He got all the energy in the world. I don't expect him to be attentive to anything at 3 years old. You a goddamn fool if you think he's going to be attentive at 3 years old to anything. You understand? And only people who don't have parents and white supremacists don't have an understanding of that. Ain't no goddamn children got no damn ADHD, attention deficit disorder. No child has an attention span. That's stupid. That's dumb. But y'all people will let a white person tell you this. Let a person with a degree, whether it's white, black, Chinese, whatever, let a human being who has a degree, calling themselves a doctor or whatever the hell, and saying, yo, your 3-year-old son can't sit down. He's 4 years old. He's been eating, sleeping, and shitting since he's been born up until he's 4 or 5 years old going into kindergarten. And we want him to sit down for 8 hours and not make noise and not play, not scream, not laugh. Really? You think that's going to work? You think that's going to work? That's not going to work. 5 years to 5 years to eat, sleeping, playing, and shitting to 1 year of controlled classroom settings. It takes time to build that. It's not going to happen the kindergarten, the first year, the second year, the third year, the fourth year. He's still a kid. And kids talk. And talking is not bad behavior. Let's be clear. Children get bored. But when we send our children to white supremacists to learn, what do you get? You play stupid games, you're going to get stupid rewards, period. That's it. Send your child to the white supremacists to learn. And now we got what we got now. Look, we got Nas X. He learned from the white supremacists. That's what we got. We got black children killing their parents. When do we start doing that? Because I was born in the 80s. We ain't never heard no story about that. In fact, you better not even dare you better not even dare look at your mom's crazy when she's flipping on you. You better not say nothing. You better not suck your teeth. You better in your damn shit. You better not even say shoot. That's too close to shit, and your mom's is gonna bust your head to the white meat if you say shoot. And this is just real talk, man. All right, man. This is just all the way real talk, man. I'm just saying, my people, man, let's get on our grind, man. Let's do better for ourselves. Go investigate the information because you're smarter than, if you hustled in the street, you are more educated in business than any person walking this earth, man. They ain't risk their freedom for that shit. Donald Trump never risked his freedom to get no bread. He was given bread. We got to start from zero. We got to start from $1. You dig? Ain't I ain't get no inheritance when my stepfather died. And most of our people are not going to get an inheritance because we just poor and we're being oppressed and we can't rise above this nonsense with a 9-to-5. It's just not going to work. So, my brothers and sisters that's live the streets, know people that's in the streets, get behind them dudes, man, and push them to take that knowledge, take that word of thought and apply it to something legal business. I don't care. And marijuana is legal on the West Coast. Arizona, legal. Weed is growing, is legal. It don't cost you nothing to get into that, man. Just bust a move and go make it happen. Because a nigga gonna go sit there, excuse my language, a brother's gonna go sit in jail for 7-8 years, but is scared to move to North Carolina, South Carolina, wherever, and go learn something new. And go try something new. Dudes are afraid to do that. You are a coward if you are afraid to do that. If you are willing to go to jail for 7-8 years for sneaker money, but you are afraid to move to Arizona and go try something different, you are a coward. And I would argue a white supremacist at that. But with that being said, I'm going to say shalom. Barakatayah, Bashim Yahweh Shah, you heard? Like, share, and subscribe. We on all platforms, New Religion Network. Oh, hey, Brother Barnes, jump in. I want to show you this. Because this goes into what I'm saying. Let me show you this real quick. Can you jump in? Hey, shalom, brother. Shalom. What up? Can you hear me? What's that, man?
Cashews.
Yeah.
Cashews, everything around me.
Check it. I want to show you this, right? And you tell me what you think about this, because this goes to the mentality of our people. So when I say, the dude that's in the street, for his wife, for his brothers, his sisters, his friends, his cousins, support him in doing a positive endeavor because he has the knowledge and the wherewithal to take you to the top. This is the type of people. This is something I want you to respond to. I want you to look at this. All right. I'll let you read it first. Can you see that? Let me share the screen. Hold on. Let me share the screen real quick. This is crazy. And I seen this weeks ago. I wanted to talk to you about this a couple of weeks ago, but it kept slipping my mind. Now I will say this. I'm not talking about the brother. I'm talking about his state of mind. That's not him, his state of mind. I'm gonna zoom it in, bro. Make it bigger. How's that? Can you see?
I wake up every morning with two thoughts. One, how do I make my bosses more money? And two, how do I get some of it?
You believe he said that?
Yeah, but see,
Hold that thought. Hold on. Let me show you the other joint. Hold on.
I wake up every morning with two thoughts. Number one, how do I make my bosses more money? And number two, how do I get some of it? And when I put it like that, there isn't anybody that's not going to be receptive to what I want to say, because they recognize that my number one mission is to make sure they're successful. And when you have that kind of mentality, it opens the floodgates, because it makes an inordinate amount of people receptive to what you're bringing to the table, because they know that you're trying to create something that they stand to benefit from as well, not just yourself.
Yeah, brother, you there?
yeah.
Yeah, what you think about that? Now, most people take that statement, that first part of the statement, and then just leave it at that. That's why I played the whole statement, so we could get the contextual understanding of what he's saying. But continue, please. You have the floor.
See, this is the thing. Before I even respond to that, this is we already 33 minutes in. I say, because I wrote that down when you first mentioned that, when you start talking about the 9 to 5. I say it's Friday, Financial Freedom Fridays, man. I think that's an episode in itself, bro. Is what I'm trying to say.
You know, bro, I didn't even intend to go like that.
Yeah, that's an episode in itself, bro.
Yeah.
We could end this and start a new topic.
All right. Yeah, well, let's do that then. Let's definitely do that. So listen, guys, we're gonna end this one, wrap this up, say shalom to all my peoples. You know what I'm saying? Follow us all New Religion Network. Follow us on all platforms, please, man. Like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for all the support as is. Yeah, brother, you got it.
Peace, y'all. Peace, love, and power. You already know we coming with. We gonna just not the whole job too long. You know what I'm saying? We'll separate and keep everything in its proper perspective, right? So we're gonna end this right now and restart and properly title this. You know what I'm saying? This is live. We rocking. Peace, y'all.